ourselves with heroes rise. The dying world's still on its knives. Pushing ahead with power we fight. Strength that brings you light in the night. Where the brawn meets the brawn. Just stories told in this love imagination mode. With every stroke, adventures unfold. Minis and muscles, heart and soul. Guidance in hand and worlds to explore. Roll the future, hear the dice roll. Gaming realms of muscles drawn. Together in this place where we belong. Doting spells, casting dreams until the dawn. Leveling up and the world to follow. With painted heroes shining bright. Venturing onward in the endless night. Where the brawn meets the brawn. The stories told in this storm imagination mode. With every stroke, the fighters unfold. These are my soul, our soul. Where the brawn meets the brawn. Just stories told in this storm imagination mode. With every stroke, the fate to fight for. Face of ourselves, our soul.
Oh, huzzah! Oh, crikey, camera's a bit wrong there. How you doing, people? How are we? Welcome one, welcome all. Hello, hello, it's Friday. Welcome to Minis-N-Muscles, the place where the brawn meets the paintbrush. How are we? Welcome. Let's get some music on whilst we're here, actually. So we normally have a little bit of music on, don't we? There we go. Hopefully you can hear that. The app's changed for my music, so it's a little bit disconcerting when you try to then use it again and they've changed everything about your app you use for your music or whatnot. So, how are we? It's Friday. We are here. What's been going on? Let's move this out the way so that is gone and out of it. Oop. Fingers crossed the battery will last the whole session. If not, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So how are we? How was your Friday? How was your week? Not just your Friday. How was your week? Hopefully it was a good one. You can just see the edge of my bad. There we go. There we go. That's better. Let's just turn that way so I fit. That's it. Well, Friday. We've made it. The end of a week. We are back here again here on Minis-N-Muscles, the channel where we paint miniatures from the world of D&D, from Warhammer, and we chat absolutely everything and anything to do with the geek world. From Pokemon to Warhammer, Dungeons & Dragons, retro gaming, current video gaming. I'll talk about absolutely anything that you guys want to talk about in the geek world. Those just happen to be some of my passions. Board games, you know, comics. I do have a little collection of comics as well. So yeah, I'll talk about it all. And whilst we talk about that all, we sit here and paint miniatures. So yeah, that's what we do here on the show. So if you're a first-time watcher, hello, hello, hello. Hello to you, how you doing? Good to see you, good to have you in the chat with us. So let's cover the past week. What's happened in your world? What have you guys been doing over the past week? What's been happening? I'm always keen to hear from you. So anyone that's sitting there watching right now, jump in on the chat. Let me know how your week has been. What have you been up to? Come on, you must have done something geeky this week. So if you've done something geeky this week, I want to know. Tell me all about it. And let's get cracking. So for me, what have I done over the past week? Well, actually, I've been really bad on the painting front. I've done no painting. Absolutely no painting whatsoever. I've also done no gym the past week either. So no gym, no painting. I've done a little bit of video games. That's it. I've not done anything else anymore, nothing less. It's been a pretty poor week for personal geeking. Oh, Hal's got some big news for Inferno. What's the big news then, Hal? Drop it in the chat, let me know. So for me, the other things I've done personally, well, I guess it is personal. I joined my D&D group this week. So we had another adventure, sort of a bi-weekly Dungeons and Dragons group that I joined. And this week we set sail out on a boat. So onto a pirate ship, which is pretty cool. And the sort of story for this whole session was based on the pirate ship, with us essentially reaching our destination. But as we were approaching, we got boarded by another pirate ship, and there was a huge battle right at the end. So that was pretty cool, and I got to test out my new druid character that I've created for Dungeons and Dragons. What else have I done? Did I play Warhammer? Yes, so I did play Warhammer. Played Warhammer last weekend, and the sisters won. So I took my sisters a battle out for a battle, and they beat the Grey Knights by 1 point. We could only play to round 4, so we didn't do all the whole thing, purely because of time. So we only played to round 4, but still, we knew that from the start, so that was good. What else? Played a bit of World of Warcraft this week, so that's been quite nice. I've managed to get, again, I'm going for a bit of a druid vibe right now. I've got my druid on World of Warcraft up to level 29. I've got a few quests to hand in right now, so he's about to jump to level 30, I think, which is pretty cool. And I've joined a guild in World of Warcraft, so in case you don't know, for the online gaming people, World of Warcraft is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game, and it is set in this sort of fantasy type setting. And when you sort of quest and do all these sort of challenges, you get paid for them. As you do these quests, you gain items, and you can sort of make your character even better and progress them through things. And you can meet other players online as well, and I've met some other players online, which are really cool players, actually, I've got to say. And I've joined a guild, so yeah, I've actually had some help today on a quest, which was really good. So like a high level player joined me on a sort of more low level quest and helped me smash through, so that was really good. So I was very appreciative of them today. How is saying in the chat, I'm working on Inferno's song, and the Zero Ring is here, and an Inferno ad is maybe on the way. Wowzers. Crikey, it sounds like you've been super busy. And you're saying your weekend has been busy working on a cosplay. Ah, very cool. You did drop some pictures of your cosplay into the Discord. So for those of you who don't know, Minis-N-Muscles, the channel, has a Discord. So if you want to jump on and chat about all things geek during the week, and when we're not doing our live streams, then you can. So if you go to the main YouTube page, and if you look in the bio of that, you'll find a link, and that will take you to the Discord. Jump on in, say hello, be friendly, and let's talk geek. So apart from my week of geek, hopefully your week has been good, and not just on the geeky front, just in general. And this week, what we're going to cover in our show. So for those of you who don't know, we have 3 parts to the show. Un, dos, tres. We have 3 parts. Those 3 parts are our general conversation. So normally in our sort of conversation, whilst we're painting a miniature, we have a conversational topic. It could be on absolutely anything in the geek world. This week, actually, every now and then we sort of space it out with a general chat. And this week is our general chat, so it's absolutely anything. So this week it's a free-for-all of chat about stuff. I've got a load of points here that I wanted to talk about. So we'll talk about those points. And then if you want to talk about anything in the chat, this week it can be about absolutely anything. So just drop it in there, we'll talk about it. For our second segment of the show, the muscle moment. We wouldn't be Minis-N-Muscles if we didn't talk a little bit about fitness. And that is about taking a break. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later. And then lastly, for our third section of the show, we've got our hobby horror moment. Our hobby horror moment is the day of the snap. What's that going to be about? The day of the snap. And I've even got a prop to show you, so I'm very excited. So that's the layout for our show today. Optimus is in the chat. Been stripping miniatures and buying bases. Hate it when Games Workshop revise base sizes. Yes, absolutely, Optimus. And base sizes can be really important too. So especially when if you're going into a bigger size base, that can actually make squad cohesion different. It can make your ability to get all your models into combat very different. So for melee armies, it's really important. Shooty armies, not so much, because you're stood back. But for melee armies, actually base size is really important. So yeah, it's a massive pain in the bum when they do that. But hopefully you play with some good people that don't judge you and allow you to play with whatever base you want, really. As long as it's, you're not going from this size base down to this size base. But apart from that, oh, what else? I forgot to show last week. My Pokemon cards. So I'm about to send these 2 cards off. I've got 2 cards here that I'm going to send off for grading. That means I'm going to send them off to be officially graded by an authority on card grading services. And fingers crossed they will come back with a good score. If they do, that means that, we could be on for some good cash-a-rooney here. So what have we got? We've got these 2 cards. So let's start with this one. This is a promo card, a special promo card. It's called the Delivery Charizard. And this is a special card that was put out by the Pokemon Center. So that's super cool. And my second card is a recent pull that I just got. So this is Mega Gardevoir, and she is a ultra. I think she's an ultra rare special illustration rare art. But I've got these 2 cards. I'm going to get them graded. So pray for me that I'm going to get a 10 on both of these. If they're a 10, holy moly, we're in for some crazy money if these are 10s. So yeah, that would be really good. What else? Oh yeah, we've got this big guy, look, in the man cave now. Dragonite, he's here with me. He's a big squishy. So he's here, sat next to me in the man cave. He won't be doing any painting this week, but we'll let him off. What we're saying in the chat, evening Steve, sorry I'm a bit late. Hey Adrian, not a problem mate, as long as you're here. The increase from 20mm to 30mm bases was a pain. 100%, yeah. And then there's even some models that are still on 26mm bases, and they're putting them up to 32. I think. Yes. 26 to 32. Is it 26 or 28 to 32? I can't remember. But yeah, there's some that I've got in my Sister Battle that recently had that as well. Very big pain in the bum. How is saying the Zero Ring is a new thing in Inferno. Ooh. So as you don't know, How is writing his own game, and he's got the Zero Ring. So is that like an item that people can win? Optimus is saying, which company do you prefer to grade your cards? Does a particular grading company add more value than others? So yes, Optimus, let's move Dragonite out of the way. So there's a couple of options. Places like Beckett are probably your top notch. They are, to get like a 10, gradings go from 1 to 10. To get a 10 from those guys is really, really difficult. Next one down is probably the most universally known is PSA. PSA do gradings as well. They're probably the most universally known, and they're pretty much your set standard that everyone goes to. There is a new company, and I cannot remember the name. They're a UK company, and they've started grading cards, and the name escapes me right now. However, they're really cool, because when you get a card graded, let's just bring this one back. So when I get this card graded, for example, it will get put into a plastic box, and it will have a little tag along the top here, and it will say, what the card is, the date of the card, the score, and the grade. And it will have a little code that you can scan, and it's all in a plastic box. Very smart. Well, PSA, for example, let's use those as we're talking about them. They just give you a sort of white background with a red border and all the details in. This new company, this UK company, do the emerging of the colour from the card into the top there, and it looks so cool. So not necessarily for these two, because these aren't really, that isn't an illustration rare, but it's gold, so you can't really see any colour. But if this was all different colours, actually seeing the background fade into the top here, along the top bit, would be really good. Unfortunately, I would show you, but my graded cards are not right here, so I can't do that. So yeah, they are what I would say. The ring of the ring of the angles to get the ring of the angles to get the demons out of the way of the human world. Oh, okay, I like it. How sounds good to me. So anyway, I think we should get back on with our painting project, right? So let's just update you guys. So last week we were painting our... Oh, where's the box gone? That's not good. I don't know where the box has gone. Hopefully I didn't throw it out because I've got no reference now. We were painting our Sisters of Battle St. Catherine model. So it was on the base, so that's where we started. And we built the base up and did that. Then, because I didn't want to sort of bore you with cutting and sort of sticking together models, we did build out this in the show. So this is St. Catherine herself in the sort of tomb. But then she's got all of the saints with her. So I went ahead and built all the saints and built every single one of these saints models. In fact, let's change the camera so you can see. I built all the saints models up. There we go. Let's shed some light on that situation. There we are. So these are all the saints models that we built up. You can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So you can see each one. Each one is got some nice detailing. So this lady here, for example, she's got a cool sort of sensor on the right hand side here, and then she's got this like little staff with a symbol on the top. Then this lady, she's got this sort of book that she's preaching from, and there's also a flag to go behind, or a banner to go behind that piece of metal as well. You've got a lady holding out a bowl of sort of petals of roses, and she's sort of offering the roses out, and she's got a little nice little bit of set of candles on her back. You've got this chick at the front. She looks pretty ninja. She's got a shield, very cool shield, and a massive relic blade as well, so that looks cool. Then you've got this lady with a very fancy looking kind of crown type thing on her head, but also she's got this cup with flames coming from it. And the last lady, she is carrying this huge great big staff, and she's got her cloak on as well. So, and each of these saints refers to one of the orders of the Sisters of Battle. Where the heck have I put that box? Because without the box... Ah, it's up there, right. Bear with me 1 second whilst we just grab the box. Because otherwise, without the box, it's a bit hard to visualise, right? So if I bring this in here, there we go. Let's zoom out. So there you go. So you can see there, that's what it is going to look like. And that's what we are building. So we will continue to build this out. Hopefully it will go okay. He says, fingers crossed it will go okay. There are a few more little bits to build actually, which I was saving till the end. Oh, crikey. So you see these cherubs that are on the top? I haven't built these out yet. We'll build those right at the end and stick them on because they're really difficult to get into position. So we will do those guys last. Oh, look, that's how it should look. Oh, dear. So this is how I've started. So I have started with that colour on the step, so we will do that, but we've gone darker in the middle than what they have. But we can replicate all of that on there and there, so not a problem. So there we are. We're up to date. We're up to speed. What we saying on here? Sorry, I mean the Ring of the Angel. Ah, the Ring of the Angel. Gotcha. Let's have a sip of coffee. So how's everyone's week's been? Come on now, drop it in the chat. Tell me how your week has been. Tell me what you've been up to. I would love to hear from you. So drop it in the chat. Tell me what you've been up to. Remember as well, there is up for grabs is the crown for the top chat, the person on top chat tonight. This is what I wanted to show you as well. Each of those saints is carrying an item from one of the orders of the Sisters of Battle. So you've got This lady here, this sort of chalice that's on fire with the big crown, is the simulacrum of ebon chalice. This lady's got the icon of the valorous heart. This one's the censer of the sacred rose. This lady is the simulacrum of the ardent shroud. This one is the petals of the bloody rose. And this lady here has just got the spirit of St. Catherine. So they're all to do with the different, apart from one, the different factions that are within, or the chapters, sorry, that are within the Sisters of Battle, or orders actually they're called. Yummy. Right, anyway, into the show. Have you got your water ready? Hopefully you've got your nice, clean, sparkling water there. Have you got your wet palette ready if you're doing some painting along with me? Mine, look at that, fresh and clean. It doesn't look fresh and clean actually, but that's the sponge underneath. But it is fresh and clean, trust me. So let's get that paintbrush ready. Let's bring in a couple of other paintbrushes as well, because we will probably need some others. Oh, I think I started getting crazy and throwing paintbrushes out. So we might not have many. Yeah, because one of them started getting a bit crap. Right, okay, so we've got some few paintbrushes down here, so that should be good. Let's dip all those into some water, and then we can start on the paint. What should we start on, by the way, guys? That could be our first vote of the evening, couldn't it? Do we start on the base, one of the characters, or the sarcophagus? So let's put that into chat. Let's get a poll going. What do we paint first? Question mark. Hang about. No, that's the wrong thing. I don't want a Q&A. I want a poll. There we go. What do we paint first? God, I wish I could blooming spell. Base, character, or sarcophagus. I don't know if I've spelt that right, but there you go. There's your three options. So we've got the base, we've got the sarcophagus, or we've got the characters. Where do we start, guys? I need your help, as always, because you know me, I just go from bit to bit and I flitter around. So where do we start? Come on. Let's start off on that poll. Howie's saying, I need a Death Guard warbands for my... Oh, he's doing Death Guard warbands for your cosplay. Nice. So, Optimus, How, Adrian, those people that are in the chat that I've seen so far, there are others here as well. So do say hello, the others that are online. But I've just stuck up a poll. Oh, we've got a 50-50 split between the base and a character so far. No one wants a sarcophagus. Alrighty, so that might then knock that one out. Come on, one more vote to split it. Get on that voting poll. I need an extra vote, come on. Because I need to get started. Where do we start? Do we start on the base? Do we start on the character? Or one of the characters? Or do we start on the sarcophagus? Oh, the base! Oh, okay, alright. Okay, let's end poll there. So we've had the split vote. There you go. 67% of you wanted the base. So let's move those out of the way. Let's crack on with this. Alright. I'm surprised you guys chose the base, you know. I really am. I thought you was going to go with one of the characters. I genuinely did. I didn't think we'd be going for this, if I'm honest. But because I think this is the most boring part of the model. Hence why I got this far, right? And then I stopped and I was like, oh, I'll build the characters now. You guys know me so well. Ah, dear. Good. It is going so good. Soon I'll be done to make it. So Adrian's been very kind there and asking how he's been. See, on this channel we are full of friendship for each other, compassion and kindness. is the main thing here, as well as talking geek, of course. But compassion and kindness is a big key of building out a lovely environment for people to enjoy being part of. So well done, Adrian. Top brownie points for you, sir, for looking out for people. So let's start with these steps down here. Let's get some colour onto these steps, shall we? All I'm using, just in case you're wondering, is Morghast bone. I've just watered it down in a wet palette, and I'm just going to get a layer of that across this steps area. I'm not too fussed if I get a little bit on. If you see very closely, I might have to zoom in a little bit. Just on this, there are little runners that go across the steps that would hold a rug in place, but they've obviously been broken through war and whatnot. So the runners are there, but the rug is not there. So there are little details, and there's some petals that are scattered across the floor as well, and there are some rocks as well. So there's quite a lot of detail just even on the steps, which is, you don't really see that much, and that's why I quite like this model, because it just presents a sort of very different painting challenge, because it's not all about a big gun or a big axe or something like that. There's loads of cool little intricacies on this model that are there to be picked up on. Hence why I wanted to sort of start with that. You know, even the little gold, you can't quite see it on the camera, but these skulls are gold, or a sort of bronzy colour actually. And I wanted to highlight that as a difference. So when you see it in person, it looks a lot different to what it is on the video, unfortunately. One day maybe we'll get some super high quality camera stream going. I mean, this is meant to be like 1080p, I think, though. The camera that I'm using, it's still like I think I paid about 200 odd quid for the camera, maybe 300 quid. So it's not like cheap camera, but I guess it's probably not optimum for streaming. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, our conversation, general chat conversation for this evening, for those of you who want to talk about it, it's a free-for-all tonight. It's the general conversation. This rolls around every sort of 4 or 5 weeks or so. So I want you guys to talk about absolutely anything you want tonight, and I will join in with you. We'll have a good old geek chat. What we're saying here, Hal's saying he is fine. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Optimus is saying base will be easier for you to finish since you can add other completed parts. Yeah, that's true. Hal is saying, but I need a warband. A warband for what, sir? What are you playing? Age of Sigmar Warband the game? Because there is a game, a skirmish game, a bit like Kill Team, called Warband. Ironically, I do have a Warband box set that I've never opened. Yeah, I know. It's part of the pile of shame. If you've not seen my pile of shame, I advise you to go and watch my video on it. I can't remember what stream number it was, but it is my pile of shame that we went through. It's very embarrassing, but it's also very entertaining too. So, you know, you should go and watch it. It's definitely worth a watch. So yeah, our conversation today is general stuff. So absolutely anything that we want to talk about. The first thing I wanted to talk about tonight is there's a Warhammer reveal going on tonight. So I don't know if it's started already. I think it's already started. So there's Warhammer Championships going on. And at those championships, they're doing a bit of a reveal for some new models coming out. Has anyone seen that? Has anyone seen what models are coming out? If they have, drop it in the chat. Let us know. I haven't seen anything yet. I'll probably catch up with it all after stream. But it looks very interesting, to say the least. But that is going on as we speak, I think. And that's generally where you get like a Warhammer presenter that will take you through the latest releases that are happening in the Warhammer world. Be it Age of Sigmar, be it 40,000, whatever, Blood Bowl, whatever game it is. They will talk about it all on that show. So I'm glad you're here with me and not there with them. Filthy Games Workshop. Not that they're really filthy. They're probably very lovely people. I'm just taking the mickey. But I'm glad you're here with me rather than being there with them, is what my point is. Adrian said, I'm sure that Steve can lend you an ultramarine warband. Just don't tell him that you are going to introduce him to Grandfather Nurgle. Adrian. Oh man, you're shipping out my boys in blue to get cursed and filled with rot. How very dare you. I do have actually... Oh, there's something actually to talk about. Talking of Warhammer and new releases, right? So they're doing the new release show... Or sorry, the release show tonight. Or today. They've already done it perhaps. But the other week they did some releases as well. And one of my releases should be coming this weekend. So the new Marnius Calgar figure and his Victrix Honor Guard... I've ordered those and they should be coming for my Ultramarines army. So I'm looking forward to that. They'll be cool. Although, as I've said to you, I'm very disappointed that Games Workshop went from one box, which Marnius used to come in, with his Victrix Honor Guard, and now you need 3 boxes to fill the squad. So annoying. But that's just Games Workshop. That's just what they do. It's just one of those things. It's a casualty of war. If you play Warhammer, you know, it doesn't matter if it's changing the base sizes to changing the models. They do it all the time. So it's something you have to live with and expect. And then I guess from Games Workshop's perspective, they're going to have to expect people to play with proxies, because that's all that it's going to drive people to do. So more people will just 3D print and play with proxies. I'm not condoning that. And you certainly can't play with proxies at a tournament. But that's what people will do in, you know, friendly casual games. Because they're just, you know, especially with the cost of living thing that's gone up recently for everybody. It's just not possible for everyone to sort of pay that kind of price. I'm just trying to get a thick enough... I don't know if I've watered my paint down a bit too much here, but anyway, yeah. So what happens on tonight? How's saying, give me 5 seconds. I'm going to send some Death Guard warbands into the Discord. Okay. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can appreciate them Death Guard guys, mate. Unfortunately, they're just heretical scum, aren't they? I'm only winding you up, Hal, don't worry. So on here, all I'm doing is, this is such easy painting, to be fair. So in some respects, I'm quite glad that you guys voted for the base, because it is an easy paint job. It's like getting this base colour on and then putting a couple more layers on just to cover over the black. So it's actually very easy for me to do tonight. There's lots to do. So, you've been talking about Warhammer. I've been talking about Warhammer in the release video, and you guys have been talking about filthy Death Guard and all the rest of it. The question is this evening, well, the first question for you to drop in the chat on and tell me is, what is the best faction? Go. Not the faction you play. What is the best faction? What is the best faction in Warhammer? So we'll have the best faction for Warhammer 40,000. We will have the best faction for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we'll have the best faction for Warhammer Fantasy. What are the best factions, guys? Drop them in the chat. Tell me what they are. What do you think the best faction is? And if you want to stick in there why, also drop in why. Because that's interesting. Just interesting on a personal, for me, on a personal level. It's just quite nice to see what other people think the best factions are. And why they think that. It's quite interesting. Because I'm a massive collector, massive nerd. So I like collecting lots of different armies. I shouldn't do, but I do. So I'd be interested to see what everyone says the best, what they think the best army is. And it doesn't have to just be because you collect them. It could be because you think the models are awesome, or because you think X, Y, Z, whatever that reason is. Oh man, I've forgotten tissue paper. Have I? Oh, I've got some here. Ha ha ha. Oh, how's saying Orcs? Orcs is the best faction. Is that Warhammer 40,000, I take it? With the way you're spelling it. Because in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Orcs name is not Orcs, it's Orcs. So O-R-U-C-S, I think is how they spell it in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Which is a bit different. So we've got one vote there for Orcs being the best faction. So I really like Orcs. I do have, and I have bought an Orc army. They're sort of pretty much all painted actually. I was looking at trying to sell them purely because I've got a few armies and I just can't remember all the rules. So for me, my struggle is remembering the bloody rules. The models are cool as hell. They're so fun to paint, Orcs. They really are, like, super fun to paint. Because you can do such crazy sort of paint schemes with them. And they just seem to work. So Orcs are really good for that. So I've got to say, I do have a little appreciation for Orcs and how they are. I also like the Warhammer cartoons that they did with Orcs in. And just the sort of lore behind Orcs and how they think and do things and their mentality. It's just quite amusing. You know, so I do quite like Orcs. I have a little soft spot for them. I'm not really a Xenos alien kind of guy. But Orcs, I do like them. So I get that. Orcs in all the games. Oh, okay, okay. Orcs in all the games. I got to say though, I don't like the orc models in Age of Sigmar. I think they look rubbish. I don't know why they styled them that way, but I just really don't like them. And I don't know whether they kind of changed their look quite dramatically so that they can't be compatible with Warhammer 40,000 orcs. But they just don't look the same. I think the Warhammer 40,000 orcs just look better. Again, that's my personal preference. It doesn't matter if your preference is different. Tell you what, on this base, there's so many rose petals everywhere. Like, they are literally absolutely everywhere on this. End up painting over half of them and you don't even see them. And you're like, oh yeah, there's some more there. There's some more there. What else are we saying? Uruk High for Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So another orc variant. It's all the same. Orcs is orcs, right? Well, I guess not, but they are the same basis of faction across Lord of the Rings, across Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and Warhammer 40,000. So yeah, I just quite like how reckless they are. That's my thing for them. I quite like that. I mean, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to say my favourite Warhammer 40,000 army is Sisters of Battle. I was talking to a mate the other day, and the models just look freaking awesome. So if you look at a Sisters of Battle model, they're just really cool models. They have loads of detail. They're very lore. Oh, sorry, I'm painting off camera. They have loads of detail. They're very well made in the sense of the lore. So they're very in keeping with the theme of the lore of the setting. And they're just so cool. And when you have an army all kitted up in the right colours, it just looks so good. So I like Sister Battle for that reason, and I also like Sister Battle because they're super effective on the battlefield. They're quite hard to get to grips with and to learn all the intricacies, but they're actually a really good army, and they're pretty versatile against most things, apart from if you play something like I don't know, elite type army, that they can struggle if you're not careful. You have to be really careful with sisters. You can't go trading with sisters. You have to be very tactical. Think about what you're sacrificing before you sacrifice it, or put something somewhere, because they do get shot off the board by elite armies very easily. But if you get that right, that balance, they're actually a really cool army. So I was getting frustrated with them for quite some time, and then all of a sudden I worked out a method, and I was like, oh my god, they're actually pretty sick. So I would say Sisters of Battle are super cool, not just because they look awesome, but they play awesome as well. So there's 2 good reasons there to love Sisters of Battle. So if you're new to Warhammer and you're looking at starting Warhammer, I can highly recommend Sisters of Battle. Very cool army. God, it's going to take a few layers, this is. What else are we saying in the chat? Orcs, meta at the moment for fantasy is either Cathay or Vampire counts. I couldn't pick a favourite as they're all good in their own ways. Not too keen on Cathay or Ogres though. I generally, this is just how I play. I don't go for whether they are super powerful meta wise. So what Optimus is talking about there when he says meta is he means how optimal the army is for playing the game. So how strong they are in game. I never picked Sisters because of that. I just loved how the models looked. Never picked Ultramarines because of that. I just liked how they looked. So I never picked Orcs for that because I just liked how they looked. And I don't think anyone should, because you can lose a lot of motivation sometimes in hobbying. And if you lose that motivation on something that you're not quite keen on, if you lose motivation on something you're not really keen on painting because they look a bit naff, I'd just get really, personally, I would get quite lost with that, and I'd end up probably chucking in the army and being, sod that, I'm not collecting that. But that's me, so don't just listen to me on that. But yeah, meta-wise, actually, after the recent balance patch in Warhammer 40,000, the Sisters of Battle are doing good again. So actually, they're doing pretty well. So they got nerfed heavily, and they went right down to the bottom of the rankings. And now, after the recent changes, they're sort of getting back up there again. I think the last one actually I saw, they were like 3rd or something like that. So they're actually doing pretty well right now. So that's pretty good. Warhammer Fantasy though, I like Standard Dwarves. Haven't played it for years, but as you know, I love the old Dwarves. I love Dwarves in Dungeons and Dragons, and I love Dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy as well. Don't know why. Don't know why I like them so much. I just do. I just find that they're very, very fun. I guess I like the lore, I like the look of them. Again, nothing to do with how they play in game. I just like them how they look. Oh, there we go. So we're starting to get there on this base colour. We're having to do quite a few coats, but that's fine. Let's start to do this level now, whilst the other levels all dry off. But you can see this, and this is actually quite a good point actually to make. You can see here how I'm painting on this colour, right? And you can see how it goes, not see-through, but almost see-through when I'm painting it onto the model. That's because it's watered down. Now, there's sort of pros and cons to this. The con is that you're going to have to do more than one layer, right? So you're going to have to come back and revisit the model. However, because the layers are really thin, actually, once you apply several layers, or maybe 2, maybe 3, what you will find is that the paint looks really smooth. So rather than being thick or blotchy looking, the paint will just look smooth as hell. So you get a far better finish. Yes, it does take a little bit more time, but you get a far better finish on your models. So if that's what you're after, my suggestion is just add a little bit of water. For every dollop of paint that you put on your wet palette, stick your paintbrush into, so if you're taking the paint via paintbrush, as I have been doing, put that into your wet palette, then take that same paintbrush, stick it in your water pot, and then add a dollop of water per dollop of paint, if that makes sense. It's not exact science, it's exact math, but it will give you roughly the right consistency. And generally speaking, it works pretty well as a measure. There we go. And you can see as you go over the areas, and because it's very thin again, it dries very quickly. But as you start to go over the areas, you can see very fast that it starts to fill in, as in the colour, and it begins to look correct, which is exactly what we want. I mean, there will be lots to do here, but and I'm sure there'll be lots more layers to do on it, but you know, it'll be alright. It'll be alright. What are we saying in chat anyway? You know that there are 2 orcs in Age of Sigmar. Are there? Are there 2 orcs in Age of Sigmar? No, surely not. Is there really 2 orcs in Age of Sigmar? I did not know that. Did not know that at all. What, 2 orcs that have completely different rules? Or is it like in Warhammer 40,000 where you have one type of orc and they have different attachments so you can run them differently? So I'd love to know what that is, because that does sound crazy. 2 lots of different types of orc, that does sound mad. But it could well be. I just might not know. I don't play Age of Sigmar. Again, it would be lovely to be able to play them all. But the problem is, it's just cost, right? So when you're trying to be semi-frugal about things, you've got to just watch that cost. You can't sort of branch into every single game, because you'll soon be bloody bankrupt. And I don't want to be bankrupt. I'd rather have a couple of pennies in my back pocket to be able to do things. There we go, just painting the rocks that seem to have fallen down from the top there. That yellowy colour. There we go. What are we saying? So, do anyone want some of the lore of the Zero Ring? Oh, yeah, go on and stick it in the chat. Adrian's saying, I play for the lore or the fluff. So Hal's saying, so is that a yes or no? Yes, Hal. Yeah, stick it in, dude. Adrian's saying, tell, oh great Hal, what lore of the ring do we not know? Exactly. Do tell, pray tell. War Clan Orcs. Okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, so I guess that's the same as detachments in 40,000. So there's different clans. Yeah, but they're the same. They look like the models are the same. There's no difference. Yeah, I thought as much. So go on in, hit us with the lore of your game then, Hal. Tell us what's going on. Righty. Oh, so that's our Warhammer question anyway. That's lasted a lot longer than what I thought. We should probably talk about something else. What else did I put on my list? Oh, what about board games. What's on your wish list of board games? So actually last week we spoke about board games in a little bit more detail about, you know, starter sort of games and things like that. Is there anything that is on people's wish list right now for board games? Drop it in the chat if it is. If there is, sorry. I would love to know what is on your wish list. So if you play board games, what is on your wish list? So for me, I actually recently got a board game that was on my wish list. I just haven't played it yet. So like everything, things take time, right? But that board game is called Ring of Chaos. And it was a Kickstarter by, I think it was Beadle and Grimm. And it looks pretty cool. So I've got the game now, which is nice. But I just need to play the game. So that is one thing that I do want to do, is play that board game. That's on my wish list, and it has been on my wish list for ages. So that was what I wanted. But if there's anything that you guys have got out there, what's on your wish list? Drop it in the chat, tell me. Oh god, I'm painting off camera again, aren't I? Let's just zoom out slightly. Make it a bit easier. There we go. If we bring that back there, I should be in camera a little bit more. Back in the day, 40k the Weird Boys were the rulers of the orcs. Yeah. So you still get Weird Boys. They're not a detachment though, but they are a unit, or a individual model actually. So you can still get Weird Boys. I think they're called Weird Boys. I'm pretty sure they're called Weird Boys. They're the psychic ability guys, right? Like a librarian for a space marine. Weird Boys are the psychic equivalent for orcs. Right. Okay. So we've got this point here, right? So pretty much covered in most places. Don't worry about this here. These are petals that have gathered around the metal pole that sort of runs along the floor. But we need to paint the centerpiece. Do we add this same yellowy sort of tan kind of colour into this center part? What do we reckon? Should I just do that outside ring in this creamy colour to see what it looks like? Yeah, I think I should. Let's change brushes though, because that's a bit of a big brush for that. That's more of an area spreading brush. And make no king of the hell of God. Oh, okay. Okay. I think there's missing something, How, on your description of your lore. Because you've got, okay, the lore for the zero ring is, and then you've not got any answer, and then you've put, and makes no king of the hell of God. So is there something missing there, bro? Looks like one of your messages has dropped off the chat, or it might just be me. So Optimus is saying you need a strong contrast from the metallic. Yeah, so I think this colour here is too close. I think the centre might have to be now grey. I think it's going to have to be, unfortunately. So we're going to have to get that grey out. Because if we go with this tan colour, it's just not going to... It's going to be too similar, isn't it? And it's just going to look too crap. Unless we go lighter. And the centre of this is like a lighter version. So we could go with something like Wraithbone. Which is like a almost... It's not white, but it's like a almost white. We could try that. Because the gold would still stand out. What do we reckon? Paint the centre red. Well, I was going with the red on the... what's it called in the middle? The fleur-de-lis. That was definitely going to be red. But you reckon the whole thing should be red? Yeah, we could do. Because I'm going to go with pink petals, I think. Or a pinky red petal. Yes. Oh, it's a difficult one, guys. It's a difficult one. What should I do? What should I do? Let's get some colour onto my wet palette. There we go. There's some grey in there. Do the fleur-de-lis gold. Oh yeah, but then I've got gold here. So then if the fleur-de-lis is gold, it's like, it's matching. I mean, oh no. I think. Oh, that's lucky. My gold pot that I had on the side was left semi-open. Oh, that was not good. I thought we were going to be buggered then. There we go, just mixing up some colours right now, so I've got some availability. Yeah, because look, if I did, I'll just do this, look, because it takes 2 seconds. So if I did this in gold like that, excuse, I'm not doing it super smart. I was going to tidy this up afterwards. There we go. So if I do that like that, it does look all right. But then we reckon the whole thing red? I don't know about the whole thing red, dude. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. Right, well, seeing as it looks all right, let's continue down this path. Let's just embolden the gold as we go. And then we can change it if we feel the need. The need for speed. There we go. Because then you've got like these, I don't know if you can see, but you've got here as well like different sections of the black in the centre. Zoom in a bit. There we go. You can see that? Yeah, you can see the lines like them, almost like they're sunshine lines. So I was going to do like a maybe like this tan colour and then another metallic-y colour or something. Oh, it's difficult. Actually, let's see. We spoke a minute ago about Wraithbone, right? This sort of almost white colour. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see how that goes. There was a psychic mishap that changed them into weird boys. Yes. Centre red. Lots of gold on sisters. Bronze for the floor, says Adrian. How saying the day god was no more, was the day of the zero ring, and the angel that was aliens seen the demons trying to make the kings a god. And the angel can't let... so they was sent to make the demons go back to hell. Ooh, nice. That's it. Now do the background red. Oh, Optimus, you're so demanding. We can see it now, Hal. Thank you, mate, for reposting that. I couldn't see it a minute ago. It's the centerpiece. The other parts of the model won't be so bold. Can you dig it? Can you dig it, sucker? So I was like, let me see what you think on here, right? So, what about like this kind of white colour, like this, that comes down here like that. Right, and then you would have... I will put another coat on that so it doesn't look see-through, but you have a different colour in between. So you'd have like a whitish... this one would be white. This one would be white. This one would be white. This one. So those ones would be white, and in between those, then you're going to have a different colour. What do we reckon? Because we've still got this like outer ring here that's got a load of fleur-de-lises on it. That could be red. Actually, that's not a bad shout. Maybe that's our red Optimus. So that part round there is the red part, the sort of ring there. Then you've got another 2 rings, I think, that are going to be grey. Grey, red, and what, like a... Yeah, I think I'm going to give this a go. Right, I am going to give this a go, guys. Let's see how it comes out. Let's see how we do, right? By the way, thank you very much for the participation in the chat here to let me know what colours we should go for. So what I'm doing is these little sections, one at a time, with some white, just to give it some kind of colour. And then if it doesn't quite look right, because it's white as well, or it's not quite white actually, it's but an off-whitish kind of colour, we can come back to it and we can change it quite easily. It's not going to be an aggressive colour that we're going to have to try to wipe out. It's actually going to be fairly easy to get rid of. If we don't like it, that is. So like that. Can you see what I mean? With these sort of white aspect parts. What do we reckon, peeps? What do we reckon? Hopefully that looks alright. Like that. Like a white like that. Then you're going to have this outer ring is going to be red. Maybe a different metallic in between here. And then that outer ring is going to be that grey. Maybe we could do the outer ring actually. Sorry, I'm forgetting about all our questions. Red, Adrian's saying. Red for what, Adrian? You're going to have to give me more than that. Because I think the chat sometimes comes through a little bit delayed. So when I'm saying stuff and when you guys post it to when it gets to me, it feels like it comes through slightly delayed. So you are going to have to tell me what is red. I get that you want red, guys, but where do you want the red? Oh, that was a thing as well. We're going to go back to the questions. Crikey. I forget all the time. I'm halfway through. What have we got in my chatterbox to talk about for this evening? Well, there's plenty in there, actually. But it's choosing one of my little topics that I've pre-written to talk about. What about... Oh, that's a bit too much paint. It's the only thing when you're working with very thin paints, when you've thinned them down quite a bit. if you get a bit too much on your paintbrush, the first stroke of your paintbrush is always awful because you just get too much that comes out at one point. There we go. I'm going to have to stop in a sec, guys, for a muscle moment because I've completely got carried away with this chatting to you guys and girls and talking about bits and bobs, and I completely forgot about the rest of the show. It's been good interaction so far, guys. Keep this up. You know, as well, especially when you guys are super talkative, it really does like help inspire me on. Especially at the end of the week when, you know, week's not been too great and things have been a bit shitty. So, you know, having you guys chatting to me on a Friday night is super helpful. I'm trying to do these outer circles as quickly as I can so you get the impression of what this is going to look like. So that's the first outer ring done. There's another one that's a bit thinner just before we get to the bit with the fleur-de-lises. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, so apologies if you can actually. I think that might be red as well. So this is difficult here because we need to really shed some light on this for you guys. Let's zoom in. There we go, right? You can see that pretty well now. This is, by the way, I'm going to tidy up all the colours so they look pretty crap right now. You're all saying red, 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 all red. But what should be red? So if we're looking here, right, and excuse the colours right now because it needs tidying up, we have got a couple of different sections. We've got these bits in between. I think this should be the bits in between should be another sort of variant of metallic. Perhaps around the edge of the fleur-de-lis we can have red. Around this in the centre of the circle. This here is actually three parts. You've got a line here, a very thin line, that could be red. There's another thin line around the top, that could be red too. The fleur-de-lis are going to be white. But what drops in here, in between? Now, that's so difficult sometimes. I'm just looking at... Yeah, see on the box, they've just gone for the same colour. So actually that, even though it's lined, they've just gone a sort of creamy colour across all of that, to there, from there to there. What do we do? Oof. How is the Inferno Law? Is this Inferno Law? Yes, it is, Adrian. That's his Inferno Law that he's been talking about. It very much is, sir. Just noticed a little square that needed some paint. Some grey paint, that is, whilst I think about what everything else should be. Sometimes it's so difficult to think about what needs doing and where it needs to go. Oh man, first world problems, eh? What do I paint? You know, people are struggling for pennies, or they're, you know, in a bad place or whatnot, and I'm sitting there worrying about what bloody paint colour I should put where. Yeah, privileged, eh? Privileged. Just adding some extra gold onto some of this sections. Just to make it a bit more... Make the gold more gold, if that makes sense. Just want it to look a little bit deeper in colour, because if we then use a slightly different metallic, this gold will stand out and it will look brighter almost, if that makes sense. I don't want it to be, I don't want to use another metallic for this to then get sort of overshadowed. This needs to be the main gold, right? So the big colour. So we need to make sure this is super gold. We will stop for our muscle moment in a second. I promise. As we hammer down on this model, trying to get all the bits done. This is far more intricate sometimes than what you give it, you know, thought for. Quite often when you're painting different models, you'll find some will be really easy to paint, and you know, this is not particularly that. This is quite a in-depth model with so much going on. Again, that's why I wanted to paint it for the channel, because it's so interesting. It has so many little aspects going on it. It makes it quite a joy to paint, and it doesn't become, I don't think, I hope not, it doesn't become boring to watch, because there's so many little bits that are going on this model. So hopefully this is a good model that we picked out to paint. Yeah, what we're saying in chat anyway. All the rings of something with the king. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember you saying about the rings that belong to the king, and they do X or Y in accordance to the different baddies that you've got going on in your world house. That was very cool. Adrian's saying just plonk the bed with the dead guy on for a moment to show what... Oh, okay, got you. So actually, it's not a dead guy, it's a dead girl, alright? So the bed goes on like such. Is it there? Right, the bed goes like that. And let's zoom out. Oh, let's zoom in. So actually, you can't see... You can... If I go from the side like that, you can see it. There you go. So you can see from the side. It's a bit difficult to show you guys. So you can see it if it's on the tabletop. But if you're just looking purely from above, you see almost nothing, right? But from the side, you do see all the elements. That's why it's quite important to have, I think, to have this little bit of detail under here. Because it's quite a central part to the figure. And when your sort of eyes are casting around a figure, what I said to you guys before is having little pieces like this that are its own separate colour really help draw the eye in and make people aware of what's going on in different places other than, you know, your primary focal point. Over this side we have got some little drain holes, which I thought should be this colour bronze. Just slapping this on these quick, because it's an easy win actually. There we go. Just... There we are, something like that, you see? And we've got ones this side as well. This is also another reason why it's so important to have so many colours in your tray, so as in paints available to use. Quite often you'll get to a point where you just want a very similar colour but not the same to go over a certain area. And this colour is, I think, is a perfect complement to the rest of the model. Damn it. Just went over a bit. That's okay, I can tidy that up later. Got to do the edges. These are the hardest bits, generally speaking. The sort of edges of a raised portion. They can be so difficult to paint, so you have to be ever so careful. Not much on your paintbrush. Make sure your paint is real thin, so it just glides across the area you're trying to do. And even if you miss it, be cautious rather than being sort of overzealous on an area like that, because you want the paint, you don't want to go right over the edges. You want to make sure you just get it right. And there's a fine line between over painting the edge to catching it just right. So there's always some little bits I need to tidy up there, but that's fine, that's good. What are we saying here? And I say greed is a real poop. Yeah. That's true in life as well. And lust we don't talk about, but the like is in limbo. Do I want to make lust? No. Do I need to? Yes. That's very true. You have to have all of the different sins, I guess, in your world. So it's very cool. Right, before I get another... Keep on doing it. Right, before I get another bloody paint out, let's just do that. Let's do that. And let's just turn to this mode just for a moment, right? So I wanted to talk to you in the muscle moment. The place where the brawn meets the brush. This is the brawn moment of Minis and Muscles. So quick chat about our fitness section and what we're going to talk about tonight. So I wanted to talk about just burnout as a whole, and taking the break. I think I've covered this before in some aspects, but I just wanted to cover it again. So I've had some health stuff come up recently, and that's kind of caused me to take a moment to reflect. I've not done the gym, as I said at the beginning of the show, for a little while. Not for a little while, only for a week and a bit. I've not done any painting for a bit. And this is sort of just general burnout as a whole. And that can be because of work, that can be because of school, it could be because of friendships, relationships, whatever that is. You can get burnout from all of that stuff. And sometimes you just need to recognise and take a moment for yourself. So if you're feeling under the weather and tired a lot, if you're finding the lack of motivation, it can show signs of over training when we're talking about our fitness side. So just be aware of your body and how your body is sort of reacting to life and how it's taking it all on board. There was something else I wanted to say there on that, but it escapes my mind right at this second. And I don't think I've written the right points on my notes section, which is rather frustrating. But what I wanted to talk about was generally speaking, it's okay to find that your body needs a break from something. It's okay to take a step back, and it's not going to put you out as an individual. If you take a week off or 2 weeks off for holiday or whatnot, none of that is going to make an effect so big that it's going to cause you discomfort and change what you've been working towards, right? So let's take me for an example. I've been working towards, keeping my muscle size up. Well, taking a week and a bit off is not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to impair my overall consistency across a large period of time, like 12 months. So take that moment for yourself when you need it. Everyone needs these moments. They will come up regularly. You will need them. So please just be aware when your body says so. Take a step back, relax. Don't go through physical pain. Even the little weird pain sensations that you get. Go and listen to your body, and don't just sort of fob it off as a small pain and just think, oh, I'll just crack on anyway. Make sure you just listen to your body a bit, be a bit in tune with it. And then there's the sort of other side of it, the sort of mental side that's connected to the fitness, where by taking this break, it can help you recover, but it can also hinder you because you then feel like in this downward slump. But it's being okay with allowing yourself to relax for a moment. And the chances are when you go back to training, you will then start to, and I find it every time I take a little break, I find that I go back to it and I start performing better because my body's had a large period of time to relax. I'm kind of lost a little bit on my muscle moment because I've written the wrong points out. But essentially, that is what I wanted to talk about. So sorry if that was a little waffly. Let's get back to painting because my head was obviously not in the right place there to talk about the muscle moment. So apologies, guys. Right, let's just fill in some of these little bits that I've just seen here whilst this is drying. I'm going to go over that completely. I will have to go over it with a different colour, with the pink for the roses, of course, but I just want to go over it and make sure that the areas covered and those hard to reach places are covered as well, because that tends to sort of be a real tricky point where you then bring in another colour and you want to sort of put that over the top or into an area, but you've got these really hard to reach places that you haven't covered yet. So if needs be, go with a light or a fairly watered down wash. You can see this is fairly watered down, so you can see the bubbles in it, and just go right over the area that you're concerned about and make sure all those crevices are covered. Because otherwise, when you put the detail colour over the top, you will never get back into these areas with ease, and you will end up having to repaint the whole model. So rather than doing that, because we don't want to have to repaint the whole bloody thing, just go in now, get your paint, just slop it across, and go into the recess areas with your generalised colour. Right. And this is a nice quick process as well, when you just sort of add in very quickly an extra little tiny layer of paint across an area or a surface. Very quick and easy to do. You don't have to worry about all the edges and right up to, X part or Y part. You can get away with being quite slapdash with this, because if you make the paint completely consistent across the whole area you're painting, actually it looks a bit odd, and it doesn't look quite realistic. So by having areas that aren't quite filled, if let's say, as much as others, it looks okay once the model's all together. JPC's in the house. Hello, JPC. How you doing, sir? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Welcome to the show. We're cracking on with this big old beast of a base. So you've missed a fair amount of the conversation tonight, JPC, but I assume you're working, sir. JPC is one of our American viewers. Our wonderful American viewers. So we've got quite a mixed collective here, actually, on Minis and Muscles. We've got people in Denmark. We've got a couple in Denmark now. We've got a couple in the US. We've got one in Germany. I still don't know who that is, but YouTube tells me that we've got one in Germany. We've got, you know, people in the UK, of course, because I'm from the UK. So we've got people out here in the UK. We've got, what was that other one? I think it might have been Australia or somewhere really weird like that. So we do have people across the globe watching Minis and Muscles, which is pretty cool actually for a channel that, you know, I do for fun, not for money, not for profit, just for fun, to create a geeky culture. It's actually quite nice that there's people all across the world that tune in and listen to me talk rubbish every Friday. But geeky rubbish, of course. And talking of more geeky rubbish, we should have our next topic to talk about, shouldn't we? Really. Once I ensure that this is covered sufficiently. So if you look like... Oh, haven't zoomed in. Let's zoom in on this. Can you see like a section like here, right? Can you see where the tan has bled over into the crack? Actually, what I wanted to keep the cracks dark so it stands out and it looks like everything's separately painted. But what we will probably do is get some Nuln Oil and go across this grey, and it will fill those cracks and it will cover over the tan anyway. So actually that won't be a problem when it comes to it. One of the names I've given Inferno is the Land of Demons of Death. Oh, crikey. That's very, very morbid. That is how. But cool nonetheless. Just making sure all these grey bricks have got grey on them to a satisfactory standard. Go. Righty, okay, so we got that. We probably need to put another layer of white on the white bits, don't we? Just to see how that comes out. So now it's about going back over these areas and just applying another layer of paint to that area just to start to thicken it up, build it up a bit. Oh, there's my shaky hand coming in, and that's a broken stone in that corner there, in case you can't quite see on the cam. Slowly, as we go around this model, filling in all the little bits and bulbs. So what else are we chatting about anyway? So there's plenty to chat about that I just haven't started talking about because we've got waylaid in X, Y or Z. So I should really pick another topic off my little tray to the right of me and start chatting, shouldn't I? So... we talked about we talked about board games, Pokemon. Let's take a Pokemon topic. Is anyone collecting Pokemon right now? If so, what are you collecting? So what set are you collecting if you're collecting Pokemon? If you're not collecting one right now, have you ever collected Pokemon? If so, what did you collect? That is what I want to know from you guys this evening. That's our next topic of chat. So let's stick on the Pokemon thing. So if you've got anything else that you want to chat about Pokemon, It could be Pokemon Go. It could be absolutely anything. Feel free to stick it in the chat and tell me. I would love to know. So for me, currently right now, the set that I'm collecting is Mega Evolutions. So it's not long been out. It's a fairly new set that came out. And the problem with getting fairly new sets or starting to collect fairly new sets is they're really hard to get the bloody cards. Sometimes it's easier to choose a set that's been out a while because you can get the cards really easy. Whereas Mega Evolutions is a new set. Everyone wants it, so to get all the bloody packets is really difficult. So that is one thing that I find frustrating. But I guess that makes it the fun part, right? And that means that it's not just something you can get real easy and you can finish the set and be done with it. You know, actually it's going to take you a bit of time to collect this, and it's a bit of attention that you're going to have to pay to it, a bit of love that needs to go into it. So that actually makes the hobby itself a little bit more, I think, a little bit more valuable. So, you know, your time is a little bit more valued here, or taken up by the hobby, because it means that you have to put a consolidated effort into over a period of time to be able to finish and get what you need. So that I quite like that. It's frustrating, but it's something that builds value, I think, in what you're then collecting. So I quite like that. Adrian is saying, oh, How is saying, not me, you're not collecting Pokemon. Oh, I have the TTC. What's the TTC? TTC? I'm not sure what the TTC is. Adrian is saying to JPC, hello JPC. Adrian, you're being very nice this evening and welcoming to everybody. Such a fine gent, aren't you? Right, opposite to this white sort of circle, I was thinking of going with this colour, like a brass colour. So let me mix it up and show you guys what it's going to look like. Yeah, so I'm collecting the Mega Evolutions set just because it looks really cool. It's got some really nice figures in it. It's got some really nice cards in it. It's a new set. And I like how one of the parts of the cards, you can lay the cards next to each other and they build out a bigger picture, which is quite cool. So that's the set that I'm collecting right now. I don't know whether I'll finish it like I finished the other ones I was doing, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Right, let's have a look and see what this looks like. Right, what do we reckon for the metal? Do we reckon that looks good? Here's some free lore for the blood of demons make angel weapons. Nice. Hopefully those angel weapons can kill demons. Do we feel this is the right kind of metal that we're putting down here? It's not too sort of in your face shiny or anything. It's a fairly simple brass colour, but that's kind of what I was going for, just a simple look to try and also depict like sunshine, like radiance coming from this sigil. That was my aim anyway. I'm hoping that is coming across as you see the area being filled. Hopefully that is working with the intent that I wanted. There you go. Lots of spinning around of the base plate here. little tiny little areas up here to do. Should probably have my geek glasses on for that. But risked it for a biscuit. There you go. Not looking too bad. This one's a little bit more difficult. You've got to go from a... You can't really drag the paintbrush along the area. You have to sort of almost dab from the top, which is slightly more frustrating. You've got this one here. There we are. Okay, what do we reckon, guys? Do we reckon that looks okay? Optimus saying, did you intend to paint the sides opposite colours? Oh, what? As in round here? Yes, that was my intent, to do opposite colours. Absolutely was. To make it look like a sunshine or something. That was my intent. Hopefully that looks cool. I hope so. But if we're going red in the middle, see, red is a great colour, but it's quite a risky colour because it can look odd. So we will try a little bit of red in the middle, but it's not always going to work. I mean, the white on the right side is bronze on the left side. Oh, right, okay, got you. I was just going for alternating, really. So, yeah, I mean, it could have been mirrored, I guess. But I was just going for alternating colours is how I kind of planned it. I guess, would it have been better to have it... Yeah, maybe symmetrical would have been the better way to do it. Oh, now you've got me thinking. However, let's try and see what this red looks like in the centre. So I'm going with what you said here, Optimus. I'm going for a bit of red in the centre here. Might have to redo a little bit of the gold here when I'm going in between the yeah, I'm definitely going to redo that. That's okay though. We'll tidy this up and make it look a bit better. Just ignore how patchy this is right now, so hopefully we'll get this looking decent. Slowly getting there. Don't worry, we're going to redo this gold because there are areas that I've gone over that don't quite look right. So don't you worry, the gold is going to be redone. So we can actually be not hideously messy, but you know, we don't have to worry too much because we can tidy this up. Does that look right? do we think? Does the red look right? I'm wondering whether it's the right colour to go with. What do we reckon in the chat? Is the red the right colour? Do 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 do. If we get a bit of that gold. There we go. What do we think? Is that looking all right? Red's good. Assuming your sisters have red or maybe a claret mulberry colour. Yeah, they do have red on them. My sisters do have red. Black and red is the main colours of the Order of our Martyred Lady. So that is fine. It's now getting these little edges, which is the difficult part. I find like I always have to brace when I'm painting. If I'm painting a really small bit like this, I have to brace my wrists on my table, and then I have to brace my hand on the model because I've got quite shaky hands. So to get it just right, to make sure that I don't go over the lines or anything, it's quite tricky. There we go. Right, okay. A little bit of red in there to do. Don't look bad though, does it? Don't look bad. I think it's pretty good. Just a little bit of gold slipped off these. Yeah, I know. I've got to fill that back in. I've not got my geek glasses on this evening, so I probably should, because it would massively help with corrections. Getting all those little bits just right. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I got it. How are we looking, guys? What do you reckon? Now it's another little gold edge. So on this side, I mean, probably no one will ever see it, but I know it's there. So I just can't leave it. So it's just another like lip of the raised area that just needs some gold on it. This is why my models always take me quite a while to paint generally, because I end up just going back over the same area. Oh, I've just found this bit. Oh, I've just found that bit. Okay. there's always little bits that you just think, oh, it just needs a little touch in there, needs a little touch in there. Right, I've got this little bit here though, which is where actually the white and the bronze come out. So this bronze actually should come a little bit higher up and out to the edge there. This bronze should come round to about there. And then the white, or the sort of creamy colour, then would be in here, I guess. Like that. And there's just a little bit of black, just to tidy the red circle, just so it looks like a circle rather than a off shape. Oh, don't know what that is there. Got a bit of water on the model. Boop. Like that. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, just out of camera there. Oh, now just spotted another little bit, another bleed over on the top edge. There we go. I think that's roughly it. There we are. So, doesn't look too bad, does it? Doesn't look too bad. So we've got this section here, though. This sort of other next part. What do we do there? Where do we go there? Be great once you put a wash over the whole thing and highlight the steps. Yeah, it's going to look really smart, this is. Yes, we know it's going to be covered by the bed. I know, but you just can't not do it, can you? You can't just leave it, Adrian. Yeah, the bed will go over it, but you will see underneath it, because the bed is actually raised by these two plinths, so you can actually see quite a bit underneath. Hence why I wanted to give it a little bit of flavour, because otherwise it would just look silly if you left it. Oh yeah, I need to talk about the hobby horror moment and tell you guys. Right, just quickly pause that. Swing across to this way. Right, look at this, guys. My hobby horror moment for the week. Where is it? Because I kept them because I was so annoyed. Right, there's the one bit, and there. Where's the other bit? Oh, did I throw it out? No, I didn't, did I? I thought I kept it to show you guys. No! Oh, bugger. I kept the broken bit and I... Right, alright. Well, I'll explain the story anyway. So, I bought another pair of these the other day. So, as you can see, look, if we look at... Let's change this over. If we look at these, right... You can see, I don't know if you can actually, the ends of these are a little bit crooked and bent, right? I don't even know how that happens when you're only cutting plastic with them, right? But the ends of these are slightly bent. And I'd previously broken a pair of these not so long ago. So these are a second pair. And I thought, oh, I'll buy myself a nice pair, right? So buy myself a nice pair, cutting away, cutting away, cutting away. And then look! The bloody tip snapped completely off, right? Completely off. So, that is my hobby horror moment for the week. And all I want to know from you guys is anyone that uses these sort of clippers, can you recommend a good pair to me? That's what I want to know. Can you recommend? Nobody say Citadel, because I'm not buying Citadel because they're rubbish and they break. So yeah, that's my hobby horror moment, my whinge for the week. because I thought I kept the item so I could show you, but I must have thrown them away in rage. But yeah, that was my hobby horror moment for the week. Has anyone else had a malfunctioning tool that's then left them in a predicament at any point? Has anyone had a functioning tool that's left them in a bit of a predicament where they've been like, oh my god, I'm about to do this part, and then you know, something breaks? Now, I must say, this breakage, you can't really see it, but this breakage actually wasn't at an important stage. I was cutting out these girls, these plastic girls. Look, they're so hard, Sisters of Battle. They broke some metal clips. And it absolutely did my nut in. So, has anyone else experienced shoddy tools that they've bought from online, from anywhere? This happened to be from Citadel. It doesn't have to be from Citadel, but the ones I broke were from Citadel. So if you've had a similar situation, drop it in the chat, let me know. I would love to hear your pain, because that pained me greatly. I was very annoyed when that happened. Also kind of confused because, as I said, I was cutting plastic, not metal or anything else, just plastic. So that was rubbish. Absolute rubbish. But tools in general getting worse. Like, I even noticed that with some actual full-size tools that I use in my car and my truck and things like that, and I've realised that actually they're not particularly good at all. So I don't know whether just the quality of things have just got worse, but it certainly feels that way, the quality and the standard of things. So if you've had a tool break on you whilst you've been modelling, drop it in the chat and let me know. Don't say that I'm the only one that's been affected by this travesty that is crap tools, because I was affected by it, and I'm hoping that other people were too, so I'm not alone. There's 2 pairs. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just too heavy-handed, because I've broken 2 pairs of clippers. So maybe it's just me. What do you reckon? That looks okay, doesn't it? I think that looks alright. I think so. It's just this next piece. What do I do? Should it be the tan colour now? Oh, so much choice. So much choice. Should it be the tan colour? Should we put tan on that inner circle? What do you reckon? Very nice. Remember to hit the like. Yes. Reminds me of the courage cockerel. What's that? Courage cockerel, Adrian. I don't know what that is. Oh crikey! It's 5 minutes to. Oh. Okay. Well, see what else we could do. What colour do we do this in? I need some help. What colour do we do that next bit in? What do we do that circle in? I'm so confused on it. Like the fleur-de-lis are going to be white, but what's the rest of it going to be? So I'll just mix up some white whilst we're thinking. If you've got a thought, drop it in. Let me know. Because I would love to know what your thoughts are on what we should paint whilst I'm sort of mixing this white up, which gets really thick and claggy. So I'm just sort of touching up any grey areas that just need a little bit of grey added to it. What do we reckon, guys, for this centre piece? Sorry, this centre ring area. What do we reckon? Blue. Oh, blue's a really contrasting colour though. That's the only thing with blue, dude. It's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So I'm not sure about blue. Not sure. I'm not sure, my man. God, this white is so thick when it comes out. Any white paints are always generally pretty crap. I'm using for this Corax white, which is like a slightly grey white, but I think it looks more realistic when it's on the model than a bright white like White Scar or something. Corax white looks really nice. But whites always seem to be really thick and claggy. I don't know if that's just my paints that I end up getting, but they seem to be thick and claggy, which is frustrating. Probably do with a bit more of that in there as well. So what we're thinking, guys, for the centre ring. What colour? Where do we go with it? How do we do it? What should I do? Need some advice before the end of the show. The end of the show is not so far away now. Whilst I'm just touching up little bits on the model itself. Do you know what? Every week, right, I write a load of things like bullet points down for me to talk about. I never get through them. I always write typically around 15 to 20 points to talk about in our general chat conversation that we have. I never get past about 10 maximum. Always get stuck. Not stuck, but always just the conversation seems to sort of just flow around 1 or 2 points generally, and that takes up the majority of the time. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. There's a question for you guys. Should I push through the points and get them done quickly, or should we just continue on how it's been going and just roll with it, and whatever rolls, and we just take it as it is? I wonder if I put some tan on there now and just see what it looks like. This same colour that we're doing the brickwork in anyway. Would it look alright? Oh, I don't want to risk it. Oh, I've done it. I'm trying it. I'm going really light with the colour. Sorry, really thin on the paint, because I don't want it to be too thick and cause a problem. Right, so does that look crap? How it is? Does that look bad, do we think? Let's do sort of half the circle and see what it looks like, right? Right, obviously this has to be tidied up. Okay, I know that the paint that's on here right now is not right, and it needs finishing. But what do we reckon? Does that look okay? That colour. I wasn't quite sure what to go with here. So we've gone for like the repeat of the colour in the centre. Adrian's saying, good job you found that, not for barefoot walking on. Good job you had specs on, yeah. But what do we reckon on this though, Adrian? What do you reckon? JPC? What do we reckon? How? Do we reckon this sort of tan colour looks okay going around the edge like this? On this sort of inner ring, so to speak. I mean, I hope it does, because I've done a lot of it so far. And like I say, bear in mind the colour is very thin at the moment and will need second, third coating, but it's kind of, I'm just trying to get the vibe to see what it looks like on, see if it looks okay or not. Maybe we leave it to be a sort of thinner coat. Maybe that's what it should be. So it looks kind of washed out. Maybe that's what the look should be. Should the look be this sort of washed out colour? I mean, you can see on the right hand side here it's slightly more dried, and this left hand side will dry, you know, very similar. Do we think that looks okay? I'm always so indecisive sometimes on colours. When I sort of go, I think that's probably my biggest problem. I'm not really an artist type person. So you get some people that are painters that are really artistic, and they're really good at, you know, finding contrasting colours and making things look really smart when they go off script. And by that I mean, you know, they don't follow the box art. I generally, with most of my stuff, Warhammer wise, follow the box art. Every now and then I'll go off script on something, but generally speaking I follow the box art. Just because my creativity's not that great. It's not bad, but it's not great. So I generally, for Warhammer anyway, go more box art. For my Dungeons and Dragons stuff that I paint, again I'm starting to be a bit more adventurous with that. I'm starting to get a few more colours out there and sort of going a bit more, oh, well, let's just see what that looks like type thing. It's kind of the vibe I'm going for here on this. Just seeing where it takes me and seeing what sort of, how it comes out and how it works, if it works. Ooh. Oh, dropping it. That's no good. Okay, right, there you go. What do we reckon? How's saying a dark blue again? A dark blue. You're obsessed with this dark blue, Hal. I don't think dark blue is the right colour to go with. I think it would be too opposite to everything right now. It wouldn't blend well. Do the Fleur gold and I think you're good, says Optimus. What, you think the Fleurs on here gold? I was going to do them white, but I can do them gold. Easy enough to do. Perhaps the red radiates outwards along the back lines. Yeah, could do actually. Yeah, so could put the red down these black lines here. So it's sort of almost like a sun shining out. Yeah, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. Should we test the gold, shall we? I know we're running over slightly by 5 minutes, but should we just test the gold and see what it looks like on one of these fleur-de-lises? What do you reckon with 2 gold like that? Like that? That actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe we'll go with gold for the fleur-de-lises. Good shout there, Optimus. See, look, this is not just about me. This is about you. Participation, enjoyment, fun. That's what we do here on Minis and Muscles. I take my followers seriously. We reckon like that. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, does it? I think it looks pretty good. There we are. Not bad, not bad. Let's do the other side and then we'll finish up and that'll be the end of the stream then. What are you saying in chat? I'd try gold on the rings as well. Yeah, interesting. Do. So I'm kind of doing this quite quickly at the moment, just to try and sort of get the paint on, just to see what it looks like. And what I probably do, and I'll probably do it in the downtime actually, is I will just tidy this up, this area, off screen. So we've sort of put the colours on and we've seen how it all goes together and what it looks like, and then I'll just tidy some edges up off camera. But I think it looks pretty good so far. I'm liking the colours. There we go. There it is. So if we zoom out slightly, oh, that's in. We zoom out slightly, that's what we kind of look like. What do we think, guys and gals? The church was always known for its exuberance. Glory to the Emperor, after all. The God Emperor, yes. Glory to the Emperor. Yeah, I think so. I think that it's fine to have a bit of exuberance in there. That's pretty good. Right, let's switch over camera. Well, my peeps, that is the end of this Friday's stream. Thank you very much. It's been a good one, right? We've had loads of conversation. Didn't get through any of my points, as usual, because I waffle like hell. Apologies. Remember to like the video. As soon as it gets posted after this, live, go onto the YouTube channel, like the video, because that helps other people then see it. That helps us find more geeks to bring into the fold. and we have to have more conversation with. So please, please, please like the video. If you want to comment on it, comment on it. That also helps. Tell your buddies, tell your friends, share the link out, join the Discord. But ultimately, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you all on my Friday evenings. It cheers me up no end. So thank you very much. Hopefully you've got some geekdom planned for the weekend, and hopefully a little bit of fitness to keep your body and mind in perfect balance. Anyway, I have been Steve. You have been watching Minis-N-Muscles. Thank you very much for watching the place where the brawn meets the brush. And we've done a little bit of painting. I will see you all next Friday, or I'll see you in the Discord. Stay safe, take it easy, mucho love to every single one of you. Ta-ra, bye-bye.
Minis-N-Muscles, we're heroes rise. From tiny worlds to mighty skies. Rushing air, we're power we fight. Strength that breaks you, night in the night. Where the brawn meets the brush. Our story's told in this land of imagination mode. With every stroke, adventures unfold. Minis-N-Muscles, heart and soul. Guidance in hand and worlds to explore. Roll the future, hear the dice roar. Gaining realms of muscles drawn. Together in this place where we belong. Doting spells, casting dreams until the dawn. Leveling up and the world to follow. With painted heroes shining bright. Venturing on.